Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another foundation review. I just feel like it's been so long since we've actually done a foundation review, so super excited for that, and also super excited for today's video because it's actually a revamp on one of my all-time favorite drugstore foundations. So in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the brand new Revlon Colorstay Full Coverage Foundation. This is the latest release from them, and if you guys remember, I was a massive, and I still am a massive fan of the original Revlon Colorstay Foundation. Incredibly long wearing, incredible coverage, looks great on the skin, and it lasts. If you have got an oily skin type like me, it literally lasts through the day without melting off, without just going everywhere. So yeah, in today's video, we're going to be doing a full demonstration of me applying this bad boy here. I'm then going to be wearing it all day long, doing check-ins, and then showing you guys exactly what it looks like after I have worn it on my face for 15 hours. If you are new here to my channel, I've got an incredibly oily skin type. A lot of foundations I just cannot deal with wearing. My oils break them up. They go super, super shiny. They just look textured and cakey and gross and just everything not cute. So I'm interested to try this one out today and see whether or not it actually passes the test. So if you guys want to see a full in-depth review on the brand new Revlon Colorstay Foundation, then please keep on watching. Now I'm super casual today, guys. I'm just hanging around the house doing housework and things like that. So I'm probably not even, I'm going to put the foundation on, but I'm probably not going to do like, a fancy full face of makeup, glitter cut crease, hardcore red lip, this whole thing. No. So if you were hoping for me to look super cute, it's not happening in this video. So what does Revlon say about this one? They say that it is a matte, full coverage that doesn't look cakey or feel heavy, lasts up to 24 hours, a smooth, even complexion with a built-in primer. What? It comes in a tube for easy on-the-go application. Comfortable wear that moves with your skin without flaking or caking. Easy to apply and blend seamlessly. Okay. Looks like it comes in 16 shades. Whether or not that is in every country, I don't know. And looking at the shade range, just from the swatches here on the website, there's definitely not enough representation in the deep dark categories. I haven't actually seen the shade range in person, so I can't really comment too much on that at this point in time. But yeah, that's what I can tell from the website. So I've only got one shade here. I don't even know if this is going to match me. I've got the shade 320 True Beige. We're going to have to deal with it if it doesn't match. We're going to have to correct it, but that's just what's happening. So packaging wise, the new packaging is really nice. It comes in a tube like they say. This is a 30ml foundation. I was looking at the original Colorstay bottle and I'm thinking, oh, the new one's way less, but they're actually both 30ml. I guess the packaging is just quite deceiving. Yeah, so this is the original and then this here is the new full coverage one. I can't find any directions on the Revlon website or on the packaging as to how they want it applied. So what we'll do, I think, as per all of my other foundation reviews, we'll try it with a sponge and with a Kabuki brush, and we'll also prime only one side of my face so that we get a bit of a comparison on how it performs with one of my Holy Grail primers and also on my skin without a primer. So I'm applying the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer to only this side of my face because this will give us a better, I guess, representation of if the foundation works without primer. If you are new here, this is my all-time absolute best of the best Holy Grail primer for oily skin. I absolutely love this stuff. It's incredible. It gives such a nice smooth base. It's just beautiful. Okay, so that is all applied. Oh, like even if you feel this side in comparison to this side is so soft and I just love that primer. Okay, going in with the foundation now. Like I said, this is 320 True Beige. That's the shade that I got. Who knows how this is going to go. Take the lid off. It does have a little foil seal, which is always good. Okay, got that off. Let's have a look at the texture. Oh, it's like a moussey texture. Okay, that's actually very similar to the texture of the Rimmel Stay Matte foundation. That's quite a moussey foundation texture as well. And if you want to see a comparison to the original Colorstay formula, I do have it here. Hopefully you can kind of see the original Colorstay formula here is a much more like liquidy, I guess, traditional foundation formula in comparison to the new one. Now, let's try a Kabuki brush first, and then we'll try applying it with a beauty blender. It's very, very moussey. Very, very moussey texture. I'm going to start applying it on the side of my face that isn't primed with the Kabuki brush. So I'm sort of just stippling that into the skin. match is actually pretty good. A lot of you comment and say, oh my gosh, you're applying foundation that's way too dark for you. The color of my face, like the skin on my face, is much lighter than the rest of my body. So what we're actually trying to do is match the color of, you know, my exposed skin, my neck and my chest and things like that. That's what we want to match, not this sort of paler skin here, because if I matched it to this, literally floating white head. The coverage is reasonable. At this stage of the game, I wouldn't say, like, I don't think it's any extra coverage than the original Colorstay. I need a lot more product, and it might even be that applying it with a Kabuki brush, you know, isn't the way to do things. But picking up about the same amount that I picked up before originally, I'm going to continue applying this. It's very smooth sort of when you apply it, and the texture on the skin, it does feel like that sort of slippy, slidey kind of silicone texture. It feels quite soft. I'm not finding that it's emphasizing, you know, any of my texture. I do have quite enlarged pores because, you know, that's cute when you've already got all of the other dramas. Let's just throw in enlarged pores too. All right, so that's half of my face done there with no primer and with a Kabuki brush. I would call that medium coverage. I wouldn't call that full coverage. You can still see, you know, my dark under eye circles here. You can still see bits of red, you know, with my acne and things like that. Certainly is not super crazy full coverage. But it might, you know, like I said, the formula might not work with a Kabuki. So we'll grab a beauty blender and we'll give the other side a go. Okay, so I'm taking the same amount of foundation, putting it on the back of my hand. It's so moussey. Like, look at that texture. It's like a dessert. It's full on. So I'm going to try with a beauty blender, and remembering that this is the primed side as well. Most of the time, typically products are fuller coverage when applied over a primer because they spread better. Okay, so definitely I can say, even from applying that small amount and based on how much excess product I've still got on my hand when it was the same amount that I used on the other side, you definitely get fuller coverage when you use a sponge. Like, hands down, definitely you get fuller coverage. And it does say on front of the foundation in big letters, matte. And it's definitely a matte finish on the skin. I wouldn't say that it's matte to the point where it doesn't look like skin. It's still got like a little bit of a sort of a sheen to it, but it's definitely matte. Okay, yeah, see, I've still got leftover product on the back of my hand. Like, I still definitely haven't used as much product as I used on the other side. And I'm definitely getting fuller coverage here as well. All right, so I might take the rest of that product. I probably had maybe 30% left over. And I'm just gonna put it over the other side of my face and try and match the coverage that we have on this side. I reckon we should do like an actual foundation wars on this too. Compare, you know, the old Colorstay formula to the new one. I wanted to give you a straight up review of the product first, but definitely if you're interested, you know, we can do like a full foundation wars on it. Just sort of see how they stack up side by side. I did already do a full review on the Colorstay Foundation, the original formula. I will link that down below if you haven't seen it. So this is what my skin is looking like close up. So first we have the side that was initially applied with the Kabuki with no primer. I mean, you can still see a lot of my texture here, my enlarged pores. I'm seeing texture on my top lip, and I'm also seeing a fair bit of texture just right there between my brows. And then this here is the primed side. I think that there's less visible texture on the primed side in comparison to the non-primed side. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to tell. It is kind of hard to tell. And I mean, it's really difficult to judge it sort of one way or the other until you've got your concealer and your powders and everything on. But yes, this is what it is looking like. As far as how it feels, it definitely feels matte. It's not completely dried down to like a powdery velvet finish. Like, it's still got a little bit of tackiness, but it's for the most part majority flat matte. I'm not finding that my skin looks amazing, but it also isn't looking, you know, the worst that it's ever looked kind of a thing. So what I'm going to do now is apply the rest of my makeup. I'm going to do that off camera because I'm sure this video is already going to be way too long. Yeah, so I'll apply that off camera. I'll come back, we'll have another look, and then we're going to start wearing this bad boy and doing check-ins. All right, guys, so I've got the rest of my makeup on. I didn't find that I needed to use too much concealer. I was pretty happy with the coverage as it was. I did apply a tiny bit of concealer just underneath my eyes. I've set it down with a powder, and I must admit my skin does look a lot more textured than it normally does. It kind of just looks like quite dry, like I need to exfoliate and put some moisturizer on. You know how like when your skin sort of gets that texture about it when it just doesn't look that healthy? That's sort of where we are at right now. I'll zoom you guys in quickly so you can see. So here is my skin close up. So here is the side without the primer that we applied initially. I am finding, you know, I've got settling into smile lines. I've got settling into pores. There's no settling on my forehead yet, but it does kind of look quite dry. Now, obviously, this is a matte foundation, and obviously, you know, it's trickier to apply a matte foundation and not have any sort of visible dryness at the beginning, you know, when you initially apply it, because that's typically what gets it to last longest on oily skin, because when your oils do come through in a couple of hours, things start to look really glowy and natural and amazing. So obviously, you know, we'll find out if that happens. But yeah, straight up right now, I do feel like my skin does look quite textured. Other than that, pretty good. I'm actually fairly happy with that color match as well. That's matching me pretty good. For reference, I am a MAC NC30, and that color's matched me pretty well. All right, so what we'll do now is go ahead with the rest of the day, and I will be doing a 6-hour check-in like I always do, and then I'll be doing a check-in later on this evening, super late probably, after I've had this on for 15 hours. I'm interested to see how it goes. At this point, you know, from initial first impressions and what it's looking like straight up now, I do prefer the original formula at this point, but things might be very different, you know, once a little bit of my oils start to come through. Hey guys, so I am back with my 6-hour check-in, and I've got to admit, now that my natural oils have come through, this foundation is looking a whole lot nicer on my skin. Everything has really smoothed out. That cakey, not really cakey, but like that sort of textured appearance that my skin had, that real dry, like sort of icky look that it had to it before, is completely gone. It all looks really nice and smooth now. Things have settled down in the areas where I felt like my pores, you know, looked sort of emphasized and enlarged. At this point, it actually looks really nice. So obviously, like I sort of kind of thought might happen, you know, my oils have come through, they've mixed with the real matte texture of the foundation, and they've made it look a whole lot more natural. But yeah, I'll zoom in so you guys can see. So this is what my skin is looking like now. See how it's got sort of a little bit of a glow to it. Everything looks really, like, I feel like it looks nice. The coverage is still there. You know, the foundation hasn't broken down in terms of coverage. It's still looking really nice. Definitely, I still feel like there's a lot more coverage on the side of my face that I applied the product with the Beauty Blender. So yeah, if you want to get full coverage out of it, definitely use a Beauty Blender. But I'm surprised. I was expecting to come back and look at my face and being like, oh, I still hate it. I thought this foundation was going to be a total fail. But at this point, it's looking pretty good, and it is doing a damn good job of controlling my oils. Like, I don't have any shininess through the T-zone whatsoever. I can feel that I'm wearing the makeup. I can feel that I've had the makeup on there for 6 hours. Like, you know, that sort of feeling when you're like, oh, like I can feel it there. Like, I feel like maybe I'm a bit oily, but it's surprising me now to actually look in the mirror. There's no shine whatsoever. Maybe a tiny bit on my nose, but my T-zone is like matte as, so that is crazy. So yes, these are the current results. Also, I did do a quick flash test. I'll pop the photos up here. I didn't find any flashback with this foundation at all. It looked pretty good, but yes, I'm gonna continue on. I'll see you guys in about 6.5 hours now. We're gonna go to 15, so it's probably gonna be like 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 tonight. Yep, I'll see you guys then. Hey guys, so I am back with my final check-in. Excuse me if my eyes are looking a little bit bloodshot. It's very late at night. I am genuinely shocked at how well this foundation has held up throughout the day. There are a couple of very minor issues. I've definitely had some transference of the foundation here. I think, I'm pretty sure from memory, I was kind of like leaning on my hand while I was working on my computer. And it's kind of gotten a little bit patchy on some acne here. And around my nose, you can see a bit of redness poking through. But I am very much surprised at how well that this has controlled my oils. I do have some shine through the T-zone. It's certainly nothing dramatic. Perhaps like a little bit here on my cheeks. But in comparison to what my skin would normally look like after 15 hours, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm really surprised. Okay, so here is my skin close up. So you can kind of see like the patchiness. There's definitely like caking and separation of the foundation on my top lip. Here is the parts where it's sort of rubbed off the acne and where it's rubbed off on the side of my face. But above all, more than anything else, I just can't believe how matte I am still looking in comparison to a lot of other foundations that I've tested. Like, that is amazing. Like, sure, my skin doesn't look that smooth. You know, it certainly wouldn't be my first choice as far as like a foundation for making my skin look nice and really flawless and, you know, hiding all imperfections. Like, it doesn't really sort of lend itself to doing that. Certainly it looked a lot worse when I first applied it. And then once my natural oils started to come through, you know, that really settled down. That sort of dry texture really disappeared. It looked quite smooth and glowing. I think that it looked its best sort of from about like 5 hours until about 8 or 9 hours. I think it was after the 9-hour mark that it really started fading and getting patchy in certain areas, and it has settled in my smile lines around my mouth as well. But I'm like, I cannot believe how matte this has stayed on my skin. Like, this is crazy good, especially for a drugstore foundation. Like, I'm shocked. So if you are someone like me, you've got a very oily skin type and you are after an affordable foundation that actually will stay matte all day long, I think that you will probably love this one by Revlon. I just can't believe how matte I am. Like, compared to what I normally look like. I mean, there's oil. I'm not like completely matte, like obviously, but I'm so much more matte than I am with most foundations. So yeah, I'm kind of on the fence for this one. I don't think it really did any favors as far as my texture went. I don't think it really did any favors as far as making my skin look really nice on initial application or for the first little while. But I think that this would be amazing to mix with other foundations if you're trying to get them to be longer lasting and more matte on the skin. I think it would definitely work incredibly for that. And like I said, if you're an oily skin type and you are after a foundation that's actually going to keep you matte all day long, I think that you will absolutely love this one. I can't really tell because I haven't got them on side by side whether or not, you know, does this last as long as the original Colorstay? Does this look as good as the original Colorstay? I'm not sure. Like I said, if you were interested in seeing like a side-by-side comparison, like a foundation wars video, let me know. We can definitely do one of those. But based on longevity alone and the ability to keep my oils under control, I'm going to give this one a thumbs up. Like, it doesn't look amazing on the skin. It's not going to make you like this photoshopped Victoria's Secret model. No, but it is going to last all day long. And especially if you've got an oily skin type, like, she's safe. She's safe to go with. So I hope today's video was helpful, guys. I hope that it answered any questions that you did have about the Revlon Full Cover Foundation. If you've got any others, please be sure to pop them in the comment section down below for me. You guys know that I'll be down there hanging out, answering all of your questions. I'm so sorry. I can't stop looking at how matte I am. I'm like freaked out. This never ever happens. Like, it does with Estee Lauder Double Wear and like, you know, my other Holy Grails, but they're Holy Grail foundations. Like, that's why I love them. But I mean, look at my forehead. Like no oil whatsoever there. Crazy. All right, guys, I love you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any other foundations you want to see reviewed, pop them down below, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.